Hi, and welcome to Advanced Dental Arts Northwest. We're located in Portland, Oregon, just east of the I-405 freeway in the neighborhood that's bounded by Jeld-Wen Field, Goose Hollow, the Cultural District, including all the museums, and Portland State University. Over the years, we have taken our practice to the point where now we consider the form and the function of the teeth, in that it's very important for us to have the muscles and the bite exactly right before we start any of the restorative treatment. To do this, we utilize a number of technologies. We utilize a TechScan 3, which is a computerized bite analysis. It allows us to analyze the bite and balance it both left and right and also front and back, so we get a very comfortable muscular position. This eliminates or greatly reduces the chances of grinding and clenching of the teeth, which, if you're using porcelain restorations, will fracture and dramatically chip away at the teeth or the restorations, if we ignore the role the muscles play. We use other technologies also to gain the best possible result. We use an iTero scanning mechanism, which is far more accurate than the old impression materials and also a lot more environmentally friendly in that we send nothing to the landfills. With the iTero, we get a very precise representation of the teeth, and we do it digitally, so there's no gagging or unpleasantries with the impression material. The iTero then allows us to make the exact replication of your tooth. If we desire to do one visit restorations, we were a pioneer in the CEREC 3D technology, which we have had now for over a decade, and done thousands of restorations with them. That allows us to create bonded porcelain restorations in the office in one visit. We also use the Waterlase MD, which is the best way that there is to recontour gum tissue and to hold it back instead of packing string in between the teeth when we take impressions. This has changed things dramatically and is far more comfortable for the patient as well. Once we have analyzed and figured out where the bite wants to be, restoring it becomes a fairly straightforward sort of thing, and then we rely upon the aesthetic portion of our practice. We've had extensive training in bonded porcelains, including a fellowship from the Las Vegas Institute for Advanced Dental Studies and Neuromuscular Studies. We basically utilize the best labs that we can find anywhere in the United States. And we can do anything from one crown to a full mouth rehabilitation in a minimum number of visits. One of the big changes in our practice over the years has been the advent of incorporating Invisalign into our repertoire. Since 1992, we've been doing conventional braces, and conventional braces are wonderful, but they do have some limitations. Number one is that they, of course, look like braces. People know you're wearing them. Number two is that they tend to have peaks and valleys of comfort and discomfort. And in that when we change arch wires, there's a lot of force that's placed on the teeth right away that diminishes over time as the arch wire moves the teeth where it wants to be. Invisalign is entirely different. Not only is it virtually invisible to look at, but it also acts very continuously over a 2-week period to move your teeth and reposition them ever so slightly. And then the subsequent tray snaps on, assuming that new position. So instead of one wire being changed every 6 to 8 weeks, we change the aligners every 2 weeks, which gives us a more continuous movement and is much less obtrusive or noticeable even for the patient. Oral hygiene is another huge issue. With braces, not infrequently, one would find areas of decalcification, beginning decay around the brackets when the brackets are removed, just because the oral hygiene is so difficult to do around it. With Invisalign, it requires no modification of your existing oral hygiene regimen. You brush, you floss, and you put them back in. Invisalign, though, does allow us to very predictably begin with the end in mind. We have a computer analysis that we run to tell us where we want to end up with the Invisalign. And so we can tell you not only before we start how long it will take, but we can also show you where you will be, which is not a technology that you can get with conventional braces. Most people like Invisalign because of the predictability and the ease of wearing and the relatively foolproof method of moving the teeth. So Invisalign, we are very proud to be the #1 general dental office in the state of Oregon for numbers done, and we believe for results. Our patients are uniformly happy with the results, and we got there for a reason, I like to think, and that reason is that we do it very well and we plan for the detailed movement of each tooth. The main thing about any office is the people who work here, the team that we've assembled over the years, and I am extremely proud of each and every one of them. I'll start off with our longest termed employee, who has been my assistant now for much longer than I even care to remember. Has gone to hundreds and hundreds of hours of continuing education with me. She knows everything that I do, forward and backward, anticipates everything. She is my second pair of eyes, and she basically not only assists and makes sure everything is ready at the right time, but she is the communication with the patient, and basically handles everything from the time that you walk through the door to the time that you leave, as far as your comfort and your needs go, and just an integral part. Everybody loves Ooh, and everybody loves to chat with her. And she is a fun person. She speaks 5 different languages. She is a powerhouse of an individual. Our front desk is Anna, and Anna comes to us from the hotel industry. She is very much detail-oriented, and she basically is the one that one would address to book appointments, to handle any communications directly with the office. She's our point of first contact, and she is fun and incredibly competent. Does her job better than anybody I could ever imagine. Vivian, or Pip as we call her, is our secondary at the front desk. She also does assisting. She is sort of our utility infielder. Also extremely personable, very communicative. She is somebody we could not do without. We rely on her in more ways than we could ever count. We have 2 hygienists. We have Tawny, who has been a hygienist now for many years, is very specialized in working with special needs and with geriatric patients. She is incredibly good at handling advanced periodontal problems. And she's just a fun person to be around. She does a lot of great extracurricular activities such as artwork and jewelry, and can really is somebody that you could spend hours with just talking or listening to her as she cleans your teeth. Our other hygienist is Kamla Sananasai. Kamla has been with us actually since she was in high school. She did volunteer work in our office for a long time. She was our secondary assistant for a long time, and then she went to hygiene school, and now she is one of our hygienists. And she is extremely personable, very thorough, a whole different personality than Tawny, and between the 2 of them, we know